it's a cluster of things. Number one, the way that the genre plays out, you can see this in the limited series, it's all about giving the audience a slow, methodical feeling of control over something that they find chaotic and shocking. So in other words, the monster's out there, but if you follow these steps, you can identify and contain the monster. Now, as we know from everything else, monsters are also a source of desire. Not only is the villain in the film the one you're often most attracted to, but this is the queering the marks moment. There's an erotic relationship to monsters that comes out with Ramirez himself that is also part of the subtlety of true crime genre, and it's why you write the Philip Carlo. Sorry, there's like traffic on my block there.
No worries, I love it. It's New York flavor.
Yeah, it's punctuating my point. So that Philip Carlo wrote the book like a detective novel because he knows that part of what you're doing with true crime is you're hungry for the knowledge that contains the monster, but you wouldn't be reading it unless there was something about the terror of the monster that you also were attracted to. And it's that contradiction that you're always striving to open yourself to and then contain. Open yourself to and then contain. And so when Ramirez is on his way after getting caught by the crowd to the city jail to get booked as the Night Stalker, the woman is flashing her breasts at him. That's and right. Carrillo turns to him and says, "This is for you." This is the path that I want to go down, just in a hint here, because Carrillo, when he has that meeting with the detectives where they, in my mind, don't believe him because he's too young and he's not a white cop. I think that's a moment of subtle racism or
totally.
Whatever the hell it is.
100%.
The reason they don't believe him though, or the reason why Carrillo is able to make that point is because he took classes at Cal State. While he's at Cal State, he takes a class with Professor Bob Morneau, who is also this guy who works for the FBI Behavioral Science Unit. And he's the one who teaches Carrillo, here's how serial killers think. And it's because Carrillo has that on his brain that he's able to make these connections between cases. Now, the thing that Morneau tells Carrillo, to me, is a thesis statement that plays into the mass shootings and the political economy we've talked about in the past.
Yep.
And it plays into these practices of sadism that you can see prevalent in Southern lynchings in the United States for an entire 70-year period. What he says to Carrillo is, sex is whatever feels good. Now, this comes up over and over and over in the Carlo book, because what Carlo keeps saying is, when Ramirez was committing acts of violence, these were simultaneously acts of sexual gratification, even when the sexual act wasn't brought to completion or even took place. Once you disassociate sex itself from a genital to genital region of practicing, and once you understand that there is a erotic excitement to having power over life, which is what Ramirez felt. And that's kind of how it's put in the Carlo book.
And is a common thread among many serial killers.
And Ramirez calls it bloodlust. And that's also a word that's used by Ida B. Wells in Southern Horrors to talk about lynchings in Texas.
There you go. Yep.
70 years before Ramirez is even born.